I think the question on everyone's mind, actually, there's a lot of talk in our community.
I know where you're gonna go with this.
There's a lot of talk in the community about the legacy of the Grateful Dead, and now that you are a ghost, people are wondering, who are the Dead going to pass the torch to? What modern band deserves the torch that the Grateful Dead has lit?
I thought you were gonna ask him about what his favorite stocks were.
Couldn't have been more off base. Gold Tower Haynes, bro.
Before I passed, it was
NASDAQ?
Fish took over, but I mean, I guess.
Do they have the torch? Do you think Fish is qualified to pass the torch to the next group?
Yeah, they've been this whole time, huh?
They passed it to the Disco Biscuits.
Oh,
I would say Fish stole the torch from Grateful Dead.
They did. They kind of took the fan base.
Yeah.
The fan base needed a place to go. Fish was doing really well.
Let me cut right to the chase. Is it Goose?
No.
You heard it here first.
Goose. It's not Goose.
Direct from Jerry Garcia's mouth.
No.
Yeah, dude, Jerry said. Jerry said.
Yeah.
And that might be...
Jerry hates Goose.
I don't hate Goose. They're good guys.
That's not what Jerry said. Jerry
That's what I heard.
They're okay. They're like Fish, but just like Fish. Not much more.
Wow, really with the Goose hate. I think we just sunk the ship on this podcast.
I can't believe you just called them like Fish, but just like Fish.
Yeah, well, they're not. They didn't do anything else. I feel like,
Damn, I don't like this part. I don't like this part of the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe we should cut this.
Yeah, we're gonna cut this part.
Or just no comments on this video. Maybe that.
Hey,
comments disabled. No, hot take. Goose is fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They didn't take the torch. They didn't take the torch.
They're not bad.
Yeah,
but I'm not trying to rip on anyone, man.
No, there is no torch.
I'm just
saying, is the more appropriate.
I didn't even like the
right?
fact that people said we had what's the torch, man?
There you go.
What is the torch?
What is the torch? Right. There were plenty of your band was amazing and you had an incredible impact on the jam band scene. Some say you had created it in the first place. But do artists own their music after it's released? Do they own, what happens afterward? I don't think so. It's for the fans. It's for the fans.
There's no owned, man. We're just playing music, and if people dig it, they dig it, and But in terms of, I guess if you're saying the torch of what's the most creative stuff I've seen of improv that's come out of the Grateful Dead, what people have done with improv through every show, That's where I make a case for the Disco Biscuits, especially in their younger years. They really honed in on improv and every show making it completely different.
Early Disco Biscuits, I totally agree. One of the most creative groups, yet really flash in the pan. What was going on with the personnel, barbers, just going on some kind of incredibly prolific writing spree, and it's all good. And the playing was so tight.
Yeah, and every show is completely different, completely. And we tried to do that with the Dead, and we saw, again, that's the one band I would say really just took it and ran with it the most, and
the Disco Biscuits.
And they're.
You don't think Fish took it and ran with it?
They
the
did,
most?
but I think it was leveled up. Fish was the stepping.
Sure.
That was right after.
Yeah, that's the official lineage for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The bassist of the Disco Biscuits was a huge Fish fan.
No, totally. Yeah, if you're looking for the prime influence, lineage, you have the Grateful Dead pulling from all of the stuff they're pulling, but then Fish is who is the obvious greatest influence is the Dead, and then if you look at the Disco Biscuits, who's the obvious influence from there is Fish, right? And then you get to bands like Space Bacon, who's obviously heavily influenced by the Disco Biscuits. Music is so cool like that.
Where would you fit Chumbawamba into that?
Oh, that's a great question, Jeff.
That is a great question.
Who is Chumbawamba?
They're kind of like Fish, but more like Fish.
It's another Goose.
Yeah, exactly the same as Goose.
All right. Well. We'll make sure not to listen to
Don't listen to Chumbawamba. We're not willing to make enemies with the Goose fans.
No, we'll make enemies. Again, I'm not ripping on Goose. I'm just saying,
it's not for you the way the Disco Biscuits are for you, or whatever.
Well, in the sense of who has shown creatively to take the improv and run with it the most.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give an actual hot take. Like Goose is a really safe band.
Safe.
Their like entire setup is like incredibly safe, and as a result, like I don't find it particularly compelling.
Right.
Like the compositions are really down the middle. The jams they don't ever want to screw up.
Yeah, I think a big part of, the Grateful Dead's fan base and loyalty and how we treated them as family is like every show we tried to make completely different, and we fed off the energy of the crowd, and I felt like it was all one, you know, like, and we tried to make every show as different as possible. And I've seen bands grow with that and take it and run. And that's where I would say, talking about who's ran with it the most, that's my opinion on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to just say I don't know a single Goose song, so when people are furious at them for shitting on Goose, I don't want to be involved.
I would
I
say,
don't wanna be involved.
yeah.
You don't know Wisteria Lane, dude? You don't know
Arcadia was
Arcadia?
pretty
Slow
cool.
Ready.
That's a good
Single
song.
meant
Yeah.
one.
Single one.
You're naming one.
Oh,
song.
okay.
I don't know the one.
He
I don't
doesn't
any
know
song.
one of them.
Yeah.
Unless they have a song called Goose, because I know that word.
Because I know that
by
word.
You know that song.
I
Yeah.
know that song.
Yeah. I've been watching.
Watching what?
Watching from
Everything.
above.
Your ring doorbell. You just sit there and who's gonna walk by next?
No, it's a lot more. It's a lot. I can't even put it into words how I experience everything. I kind of feel weird being here right now. I kind of want to go back to that space right now. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think if you stay here for too long, you're gonna really distort
it's-
space-time reality.
it's
for
getting a
us
little
bit.
weird,
It is
you
getting a little
know?
strange. The room is kind of filling up with haze, and
Yeah.
it's just starting to get uncomfortable. So, geez, Mr. Garcia, thank you so much for joining us here on Who's Up Next.
No problem.
Maybe
I
you
mean,
can come back
I don't know who.
sometime.
I don't know how I got here again, but
It was Barry.
Yeah. Have you actually? But yeah,
was that Andy Garcia's brother?
Yeah, dude.
we might have
Yeah.
been.
Barry.
Barry.
I'll tell him you said what up.
Okay. Well, guys, I think I want to get back there. It's been too long, but
All right. Well,
like I'll say, peace.